It's Footy Prime, everyone. It's a later record today. Wonger's here. That's Chasey. I'm Sharms. We've got a couple of guests today, though. We know there's a lot of you love your fantasy football, your fantasy Premier League in particular. We're all too fucking lazy. We really are. The rest of us. I try every year, and then by about week 3, I kind of forget about it. But I know, like, literally tens of millions of people take this stuff so seriously. So we thought we'd go to some experts in fantasy football, the FML FPL podcast, south of the border. And they're smirking already when I use the term experts. But you are. I've listened to your podcast. You know your shit. It's all good. It's Alon and Walsh. So welcome to Footy Prime, fellas.
Hello. How you doing?
We're doing good. I'm looking forward to learning some stuff, but just talking Premier League in general, right? That's when we first started out this podcast 6 years ago now. That was kind of our go-to. It was the Prem. We had Danny Dicchio at the time. He was living up here, and of course Craig Forrest, who couldn't make it today, Jimmy Brennan. So Premier League footballers, and we just love that league in particular. But we've kind of evolved since then somewhat to cover more MLS, more Canadian narratives. But at our essence, we still love the Prem. So let's get right into it. What is the toughest part? Let's start with you, Walsh. The toughest part, is it surely keeping track of all these transfers? Because I don't know about you, but every year around this time, I'm watching the games in the weekend, and suddenly, oh my God, when did that happen? Why is he playing there now? But if you're going to really take your fantasies league seriously, you have to know this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the transfer window being open for the first 3 weeks of the season is definitely not my favorite thing, to put mildly. I mean, from an FPL standpoint, kind of what we try to do is keep across like likely players that might drop out. Like the right wing back at Wolves is probably not going to be starting come game week 4 because he sucks. And what striker might get dropped or who might lose pens if this guy comes in. So you try to mitigate against as much risk as you can, I think, from that standpoint. So while also not succumbing to full on Fabrizio mania, silly season, knowing that, half his tweets are paid for by agents, right? So try to keep our sanity, try to keep our heads on. Difficult though.
Yeah, Fabrizio's done well for himself, hasn't he? He's
unbelievable business he created.
Yeah, I mean, he's built this, I don't know what to call it. It was a shtick, whatever it is. But, I mean, he's the go-to. He generally gets it right because, like you said, the agents know. And they're feeding him whatever they want to feed him. And there was one last week, actually, wasn't there? He got wrong. I forget what it was now.
Yeah, I mean, in our parish, we are big fans of Ornstein. That's
Ornstein,
really
the truth.
That's the Bible.
Yes.
We don't pay attention to Fabrizio and his fucking nonsense and his shitty Photoshop. We are not prescribers to Fabrizio's clickbait. Orngod never gets it wrong, though.
Yeah, Orngod. Only when it's actually over the line is when Orngod lays the hammer down.
Yeah, first one to it, right? Which I think is becoming less and less important nowadays. It's what you do with it when you get the information. I don't know, Alan. I couldn't be an insider. Now and again, we get stuff, lands on your plate, and you have to kind of, report on it, and you might break the odd thing here and there. But generally speaking, you got to be a snake, don't you, to a certain degree, and just bullshit everyone.
Yeah, I mean the whole media narrative around all of the players and teams and stuff is all funded. It's all about the money and where the money's moving and who wants the money and how they're going to get the money, right? So it's like, even when Fabrizio's telling the truth or there's other rumors or whatever, someone told them for a reason, right? They're not just like friends who hang out being like, oh, thinking about Isak. Like, what do you think about Isak? They're saying it because they want to drive the price or drive the value of the player, or the team is, negotiating with 5 other players and they want to, push the agents on the other side of things. There's always some
agenda
that's being pushed from some angle. And so like you just have to take everything with a grain of salt. Like I feel like we've been doing this so long, I just shut off in the summer. Like all of the stuff, like I have no choice. I'm like, why am I gonna follow, oh my God, Rodrigo's going to blah blah blah, when it's like, 3 months later and Rodrigo's still at Real Madrid and nothing's happening. He's probably not going anywhere because he makes 300,000 euros a week and no one wants to pay him that much. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, it was all a waste of my time anyway.
Can we just admit that we're all pawns? I mean, we've
100%.
tried to break stories. The last one was, I think it was Craig threw out when MLS was Vancouver was trying to find a new skip, and what happened was he heard from an insider, a friend, someone in the soccer kind of zeitgeist in North America, and he was way wrong. But it got 20,000 impressions for us and all that kind of stuff, and everyone was like, Craig, who'd you hear this from? He goes, I can't say. And we're like, Craig said. So we're just making shit up at the end, right?
Yeah, and ultimately everyone forgets. Right?
Yes.
No one is thinking.
There's no accountability.
Yeah, no one's thinking Footy Prime just starts selling bullshit and tweeting all this shit for clicks all day, every day. They just react to the one thing, and then a week later they forget about it, and they followed you in the midterm. So it works out. Like there's no like being a villain and just going for clicks. There's no repercussions at all. You got the follow, you got the subscription, you got the retweet, you got the advertiser money or whatever, and they win again.
I'm sorry to interrupt. It's just that we said we're going to start from the beginning. Two East Coasters, New York, right? We were just talking off air.
Yep.
But why the Prem? Why soccer? Where did this come from? Because I think that's the beginning, Sharms. I'm sorry to correct you.
No, it's all good. I mean, so I think we both kind of had like passive interest in World Cup growing up, but really nothing to do with following a team or following in depth like domestic leagues or anything like that in soccer. We've both been just all American sports our whole lives. Started with basketball, I think, for both of us, baseball, NFL, fantasy, all that stuff. Like I said to my friends who got me into the Prem ultimately, like I'm low hanging fruit. Like if there's a fantasy and there's drama and there's matches, I'm in. Like I'll play fantasy anything. It doesn't even matter.
You're a degenerate.
I'm an absolute degenerate.
Are you kidding me?
We do a fantasy Premier League podcast.
It's not
What are we
even
talking
real.
about? It's not even real.
Not even the game. It's fucking a made-up game.
Yeah, like we basically we're one step away from LARPing in the park every Sunday afternoon. But so I had some friends after college who were just like big into it. I don't actually know their story of how they got into it, probably through FIFA, but they were just playing FIFA nonstop, watching all the Prems. They all had their teams already, and I started hanging out with them more and more, and I was just like, I'm in. I'm obviously in on this. This is amazing. And then Walsh and I were on a trip together. I woke up at 7 a.m. to watch like Swansea versus Tottenham. And I had Michu and Bale in my fantasy team. And Walsh was just like, this is the best thing ever. I'm in. And that was it. That's all it took.
Yeah. Well, here's some drugs. It's like, I love drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna do it forever.
More drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's precisely what it is, though. And people forget, I think, sport, right? People take it too seriously. They really do. It's there to entertain the masses. That's what sport is there for. Unless you're playing with your mates in the park and you're trying to stay fit, maybe have a bit of fun. At any professional level, you're there to entertain. And this self-importance that we get force-fed every day from clubs, from players, from other media members.
Yeah,
it drives me up the fucking wall. And that's why I think we do the style that we do our podcast, and you guys as well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, humility and just at the end of the day, there's that aspect you're talking about. And for us too, it's just to feel things and to make new friends, really, and be connected with the people that support or people that are similarly minded, which, like, we have our own little nerd degenerate community and, we make each other laugh, and it makes just the days lighter, brighter. It's great. Sports are great.
yeah.
We have what
Sports
we call,
good.
Sports good.
we call,
Sports.
our WhatsApp group between the six of us, we call it the dark web because of the terrible things that are discussed on it. But it's our little sanctuary as well, and it's constant. It's like there's always someone on it yapping away, and it's so important. That community, and that is what sports is about beyond the entertainment. I think. But back to the fantasy. So you guys must be really good then, right? And must make a ton of money.
No.
Is that
No.
easy? No. Oh, okay.
We are
not
bad at
good. Not
fantasy.
good.
Not
Yeah.
We're like a Kanish and rounders. We see all the angles, but we don't know. We have the stones to play them, but we play too many maybe.
Yeah.
Opposite.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just emotional. We're not analytical and disciplined to be really good at FPL. We just talk about the game. I think kind of we watch a lot, so we can kind of scout it and talk about it. But when it comes to actually clicking the buttons and doing well for 38 game weeks, we're very, very far from it.
Yeah, I would say that there's sort of like two groups of podcasts in the FPL community, probably the same in, American fantasy sports, but I don't listen to any of them. There's like the experts, which is why we smirked when you called us experts, because they actually have good ranks every season and do like all of the on paper smart stuff. And people listen to those for the answers. They want, who should I bring in for my injured midfielder? And they will tell you. They will say, this guy is the best pick for the midfielder. And we're more the artistic side of things. We're just going to be angry at guys, love guys, hate guys. And there is some crossover. Like, I feel like a lot of good players listen to our podcast for our takes and for our, like, because we watch so many matches and we've been through it all in a sort of way. And they can, like, sort of farm some value out of that. But overall, like, we just end up doing the dumb things. But people listen to us and they know, okay, if Walsh is really feeling a guy, but then doesn't bring him into his team, like, that's the magic formula. Get him immediately. He's going to be incredible. And then we're going to cry about it on the next episode. Like, there's all these little things they learn over time.
Yeah.
That's our whenever Craig Forrest talks about an investment deal or something and he's wavering on anything, I'm like, okay, what are you going to do? And then I do the opposite. Yeah. And I feel always relatively safe that I've made the proper decision.
Exactly that. It's exactly that.
I think it's how media is changing though as well. And that, people have got an appetite for stupidity, fun. You need those guys, usually ex-players, and when they talk and tell me why someone should be picked or I listen, right? We have Craig and we have Jimmy and we have Amy who played the game at the highest level. So when they talk about a match, I'm actually interested. I want to hear from that. No one cares really what my thoughts are about the Wolves right back, and what he's doing. I didn't play the game. So it annoys me when I see these ponces on certain media platforms who never played the fucking game thinking they did. And trying to educate and talk down to me and explain to me this is the way. You can't even kick a ball yourself. Shut up. Right? So there's room for us both. Is my point. And I think there's a growing appetite for those of us who like to have a bit of fun. And
for sure.
It's not life or death. Do you guys ever play Football Manager?
No,
I never have. We talked about drugs earlier. It's a little too dangerous for me.
Don't do it. Yeah,
the combination of like computer game and like in-depth soccer and like all of these things mixed together, it's actually a lethal cocktail, so I just stay away.
Sorry, what is that? What is it?
So imagine
and Walsh, sorry.
Oh, you're done. Wonger, nice knowing you, Wonger.
See you later, buddy.
I don't have a lot of bandwidth.
Wonger has a bit of an addictive personality. I'm concerned right now. No, Wonger. So essentially, imagine you are a football manager and at every level, and you can become the manager of any club. You name it. Could be an amateur club, could be Chelsea, Liverpool, any club. And you are
Quebec 69ers. You can make your own club.
Yeah.
You could do.
And
you're in charge of that club. You are
that was my orgy group.
You're hiring your flying managers. You're deciding on tactics. You're signing players. You're releasing players.
But is it a platform? Is it a platform or is it a video game?
It's a video game.
It's a game of menus and spreadsheets. You don't actually play the soccer match like in FIFA. You just do all of the decisions. Like, you literally will like have one-on-one conversations with players and be like, you need a whatever, clean your act up, or I'm selling you shit like that.
Is it like Sims almost? Like,
it's Sims but for soccer.
It's crazy. When I was at the Score, Wonger, there was probably a year or so there where we got right into it. myself and Sid Sixero.
People are super into it.
And it was affecting not just our work, but our lives. And we had to say, okay, boys, let's go, intervention time here, right? We had to cut it cold turkey in the end because it was not, we were going down, we were spiraling out of control because we we're so obsessed with this freaking
and that's
game.
The biggest issues, like for me with sports, the release is that there are humans that have to play and the game ends. And then there's time off before that. If I could just start the next game right now, I'm just sitting here on my computer fucking like pissing myself. And everything's done,
It's like Marinakis, like the Forest owner. I think his son was like a big into like FIFA and Football Manager and stuff.
Him who to buy.
Yeah, and there were those seasons where they would just buy like legitimately 25 players, and everyone's like, "What are they doing?" And it came out that his son was just being like, "Oh, get this guy, this guy, this guy. He's incredible in Football Manager." And it's like, this is probably isn't the best way to run a business.
Trust me, Dad. Trust me, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, but so don't even think about uploading that or downloading that.
No.
Yeah, you don't need that in your life right now.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So tell me the secret to success, though. I know you guys haven't got much success in fantasy, but is it about the hidden gems? We can all pick a Haaland or a Salah, right? We understand that, but is it finding those diamonds in the rough?
Unfortunately, no, because that is actually what we're good at is finding the diamonds in the rough. But that ends up being such ultimate fringe of the 38 game. Like you need to be captaining the right guy most of the time. Like you need to get the main questions right. If you get the 14th question right, even though it's tricky and you'll feel clever that you got it right, it doesn't ultimately matter that much. So if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, even like you say everyone knows to go on Haaland and Salah, but 53% of people own Salah and 31% of people own Haaland. So not everyone knows that, and you know what? In 3 weeks from now, it might not even be right. We don't know yet. But yeah, like Walsh said, I mean, it's just so different from the mindset of like American sports fantasy where it's like, if I get this wide receiver in the late rounds who blows up, like I might win my league, right? And the difference in this style of game is like everyone's just going to add that wide receiver equivalent the next week. Right, everyone's gonna see match of the day, and he scored a brace, and he's only 5 million in the game, and everyone's just gonna get him, and then you no longer have a leg up on anyone, right? So it's more important to have like the stability of the main good picks in the captaincy.
So those people who are just dying to pick Rio Ingamoa and Max Dowman this week, just don't do it, is what you're saying?
Don't do it.
Not a good idea. Don't get children in your team. It's a game that men play.
I think Rio turns 17 on Friday, doesn't he? I think.
Oh my God.
Still can't drink in England.
No, he can't even. I don't think he can even. He can.
Legally.
Yeah. I don't think he can even change in the same locker room as the senior team.
Oh my God! I didn't even think about that.
Adam Johnson could be anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Anywhere. You don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if a guy's projected to play like under 5 minutes per week, that's a bad pick. I would say that's a bad pick.
Yeah, I guess so. Do you guys follow US soccer as well? Or is it mainly just the Prem that you're really into?
Couldn't name 6 teams in the MLS.
Really?
Honestly,
I wonder if I could. Maybe, but. I root for.
You could name the cities, just not the nicknames.
The teams. Well,
you could name the cities, right?
Cities, I can rattle off 100, but But
that's interesting.
I root for U.S. men's national team, in all the tournaments, and I'll watch the games, but I don't follow like this international break. Like people are making a big stink about like who Poch called up and all that stuff. I'm just like out. Like don't care. Like give me when the best players for the country are on the pitch in a competitive game. I'm in. I'll watch. But I don't know that I don't follow the domestic. Neither of us follow the domestic league at all. There's only so much bandwidth.
Well, that's why I was going to ask this to Walsh. He's West Coast, and we're lucky enough to have a Footy Prime supporters club, and we have a lot of West Coasters. But are you getting up at 5 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays to watch anything, or when does your soccer day
I get
start?
up at 4:30 actually, Water. Yeah, I wake up early. I
Take
mean, I
that.
have a 5-year-old, so our normal wake up is 6 a.m. anyway, so 4:30 is not too far away.
You wake
But yeah,
him
I
up
mean-
or wake her up?
No, he's upstairs doing his thing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm up at 4:30 for sure. Like usually the first game's a pretty good one. They put the schedule makers and the script writers put a good one on there. But yeah, I mean, it's for us. Like if Alon and I don't watch games and have our eyes on at least 6 of the 10 games in a given week, our podcast isn't going to be very good. I mean, we're just going to be talking in generic kind of obscurity rather than what we're seeing and who we like and what we don't like and trends we're seeing or things we think. So I also get it's an excuse for me to be able to watch more sports. My wife can't get as mad at me. She still gets mad at me every weekend.
that
But
myself.
can't get as mad at me because I'm like, oh babe, I'm like making some money for our mortgage, right? We're fine. So I have that going. But yeah, I'm up early, man. We're watching.
And the
everything.
the
That's every
bandwidth
weekend.
thing is really real. I mean,
Yeah.
we're doing this every weekend. We're both huge Mets fans. We both watch our NFL teams. We used to be huge Rangers fans, and we used to be huge Knicks fans. Like, where would MLS even fit? Like, it's not even possible. It's not remotely possible.
Well,
maybe if we were in 16 again, we'd watch. Oh, that's all we would do is just drink and watch sports, but we're not.
and this is what we're talking about, Alon. We have the introduction of the Northern Super League, so women's professional soccer.
Right.
The Toronto is getting the Toronto Tempo, so WNBA. I'm a big basketball fan. What Sharms and I used to both work at Sportsnet. What I gave up was hockey, so I could start watching because I'm an NFL guy too and a CFL guy. So I've got 2 footballs, and my Sundays now, they're in university. I would have been like people would have been the happy, like everyone would have said, wow, what a life you have. That you sit down at 8 a.m, start watching soccer, our football. Then at 1 o'clock, you have NFL till 12. That's like the best day ever. And you order a pizza in between and take 3 dumps, and maybe start drinking again. Like it was fantastic.
We should mention that Wonger is also a divorcee.
Yeah, that's right. Got him. To he accepted you, right? Like
he's got a wonderful girlfriend, but they don't live together, so he has got a lot more time than us married types.
Yeah.
Although my missus is pretty understanding. Again, it's easier when we have a sponsor for the podcast. And I can say,
there we go.
Not so easy when we don't. But yeah, it's challenging. I don't know how you can fit it all in, and most people can't. But I think we live in this echo chamber in the sports world where a lot of people are just so obsessed with sports, the people we talk to, that they do watch a lot, and it is their life. I don't know. I mean, I that's not me. Once upon a time it was, because Wonger mentioned the Sundays. I used to love weekends. Obviously, before you're shackled to family life, because you can just dedicate the whole weekend to watching sport and drinking with your mates, and it's fun, but can't last forever, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I will say I'm not going to throw the specific podcast under the bus here, but Walsh and I were talking the other day about how there's just not really a Premier League podcast that we both like a regular just cover the Premier League one. And part of it for me is they pretend they watch every minute of every match, and they just don't. But they talk about it as if it's just complete factual. I watch every second of this player. I know him in and out. That this guy's no good, and this guy's. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, I watched the Sunderland Burnley game. You clearly didn't. Like, you're just talking completely out of your ass, and you won't admit it. And like, I hate that so much. I can't get behind that at all.
You can't listen to us on Mondays then alone.
We'll see. I'll give you a fair shot. But,
No,
well,
let's
actually,
be fair. Sharms on our Sunday night dark web, he throws out to our pros, what games did you watch? Yeah. And those are the ones we'll talk about. We'll use the other ones the ones that we just watched highlights. We usually just refer to them and talk about them in a standing, because you can't watch every game. They're on at the exact same time. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments ever on this podcast was, I forget what game it was. It was an amazing game with an amazing goal. And I said, Craig, this goal is incredible, blah, blah. And he starts going on and kind of talking in generic terms. And halfway through, I had to interrupt and say, Craig, yes, Sharms. I said, you didn't watch the game, did you? He goes, no, I didn't. But it was just bullshit. It was so obvious.
Yeah. I mean, we split our watching duties. Like we'll watch the 7:30 a.m. game. There's 3 games at 10. We'll both watch 2 games and one of them will be different. Usually it's like we'll both have the TV game on and then we'll both have one of the other Peacock games on because we have to cover as much as we can instead of just both completely ignoring one of the matches.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because there's a way that you could speak about players or teams in this very authoritative way where it's like you're presenting facts, and then there's a way you can talk about things where you're presenting your opinions. I hope we do the latter and not the former, but I mean, Alon and I, we're watching the same game and I'm like, because sometimes we're just typing to each other while we're watching a game because our Discord's like super in the future.
Bananas.
So we don't like getting spoiled. So if we're watching one game, I'll just say like player X is fucking horrible today. And he's like, what? I thought he's like the best player. I mean, even when we're watching the same game, we have different experiences and inputs of what we're watching to formulate it. It's the subjective nature of it is just so out of control, but like there is still a way to just say you like someone or you don't like someone or you love someone or you hate someone. That's within I think as long as you're doing it in that self-deprecating way of, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I sort of do. Like it's an art, right? It's an art form, not a science, but yeah, I don't know. It's compelling,
who is your,
it's interesting.
then Walsh, who's your man boner for the season that you'd go, oh, I need that guy because I love that guy? Who's your weekly man boner?
Man boner as opposed to
good point.
Woman boners.
Gallum?
Yeah.
No. What was it? The North American NABLA, North American Man Love Boy Association.
Don't know that one.
never heard of that one.
I don't
Jesus,
know. That must be a Canadian thing. Let's cut this.
No.
Probably Alon might have a different answer for me because he usually can assess me better than I can assess myself. But I would probably say Mateta. I'm a Palace fan, and it's not too often. Like I started with him in FPL, and it's not too often that I actually feel like go for a Palace guy early like this, and I just fucking love him. Like I love the boom when he kicks the flag after he's not scoring in the league this year yet, but I love him. I love Mateta. I have so much time for Mateta. I could watch him play. I could watch him eat cereal. I mean, I love him.
He's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mateta for you or maybe Paqueta, but it's one of the two. Yeah.
Paqueta's there 1A and 1B probably. I've been very strong.
Well, similarly, it's a fan bias, but going into the season for me, it was just Verts. I mean, I watched I'm a Liverpool fan. I was paying attention to the Liverpool preseason, watched a couple bits here and there. He's just like unbelievable, and like his vision and his touch and everything. And like it's been a rocky start to the season. I think it's been 2, really tough fixtures also. But yeah, I just everyone's kind of mass selling him in fantasy. His price is going down, and I'm just sitting here like, all's good. I still believe in him. Like I still love him. Like he's doing stuff that I want him to be doing. The points will come. So it's probably a biased boner for me too.
He's one of those.
I get those.
Players,
Something you never thought you'd ever say on a podcast.
Love a biased boner.
I have a biased boner right now.
There we go.
No, but yeah, Verts, I'm with you. He's one of those. He reminds me a little bit of Alcantara. Right, and the way he hits the ball, just moves around the pitch, and he was always hurt, Alcantara, right? But it's just he just moves differently to other players. He's so graceful. Yeah, something about him.
He's just a bit faster than everyone too, which like so far has led to incomplete passes or ruining of moves. But he's just like one touching to everyone, and they're almost not ready. And then he makes another run, and they're not ready for that either, and they're not finding him on the run, and it's just like. I just am watching him and I'm just like, oh my God, Verts is wide open. And they'll watch it in the tape, but like, it's just like incredible to watch.
Yeah, and then Gakpo's like, well, if I'm not cutting it on my right foot and shooting, I can't do anything.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah, but what a right foot though, right? And it's like Arjen Robben. Oh, he could just one trick pony. Yeah. He does it every single game, doesn't he?
Yeah, one trick is really good. A lot of players have no tricks.
Exactly. I think it's Theo Walcott. I heard on the radio, or was it a podcast a couple of days ago, talking about playing against Messi, And he was
Mm.
saying, I'm playing as Messi, and I realized Messi's not fast. He's not quick. I'm quicker. I'm faster. Yet he was always a step ahead of me, no matter where it was on the pitch. I didn't understand how he managed it, right? And again, it's that ability to glide into space as opposed to just pure athletic ability, which a lot of guys have. And these top players have that.
Yeah, it's interesting because the ball moves faster than any human can, and the line that you take is so much more important than the speed that you're going at which line, right? So it's not like a center fielder tracking a ball where you run one way or you fucking don't get it, right? And you see Messi just turning and going and using the space so much more economically than a lot of other players, even though he's a little hobbit man. Like I could probably run as fast as him.
Yeah.
It's something though. I mean, Feo in his day was like one of the fastest players in the league, and for 1 year before his body broke. But
I mean, I always think of Kane in this discussion because he's never been fast and he never will be fast. And it's like he's the prime example for me of change of speed is more important than raw speed, because he's slow and he's moving slowly and he receives the ball, but he's just that little bit quick enough to get a half yard of space, and that's all he needs. Right? He doesn't actually need straight line speed. He'll never need it the way he plays, and he's so good because he can just change of speed, change of direction, see which way, see what where the weight's distributed in the defender and go the other way, and that's all he needs to get by around someone to get a shot off. And it has nothing to do with raw speed.
100%, yeah. Make me sick. Those guys, pure athletes, makes me sick. And talking to our former athletes, they're all broken down has-beens now. But once upon a time, there was something. And when they talk about physical ability, they really don't understand what it's like for most of us. They just don't get it. It's like, no, Jimmy, stop. You stop. Just stop right now. You don't know what you're talking about.
We actually went up. We went up to. Sorry, Sharms. We went up to, and I'm on a bit of a lag. We went up to a CPL match, and Amy and Jimmy, we threw them the soccer ball just to juggle. And these are our friends in their 40s now, and they're just juggling the ball like it was nothing. And Sharms and I are looking, JC are looking at them going, they don't understand. Like, it's just, they're so talented and so skilled that it's nothing we could ever do. And like, they can do like 30 in a row, 50 in a row, keep it up, the upsies or whatever they call it. And I was like Karate Kid. I was Elizabeth Shue learning how to do it, three or four dribbles, and that was it. Right. And it was just seeing them and having them as friends, and just even Craig's 6'6" and an athletic 6'6", and you're like, oh, I'm 5'11" and felt tall today. It doesn't happen anymore when I'm hanging out with these people.
I think there's a lack of understanding, I'm including myself in this too, of anyone that does anything at the highest level. I mean, they're so far beyond anything anyone has ever seen, any of us have ever seen, And I always think of, I had a couple of friends who were not sports fans at all who recently got into the NBA. And so I watched some playoff games with them because I was just like, yeah, I'm down, even though I don't really follow NBA anymore. And they were criticizing a few players for just like being bad shooters because the game has transitioned now to just being, all threes all the time, and which was like weird for me to watch. And then I remember telling them, and like the look on their faces was like, in warmups, they just don't miss any shots. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, if you go to the game early, they're warming up and they'll just make like 30 threes in a row, like swish, like ridiculous, like all of them. And they're just like, what? How could that be? It's like, they've been doing this their whole lives. They take 1,000 shots per day and they're the best ever. Until they reach the NBA, they were the best ever kid that had ever played, basically, and in every level. It's like different when the speed of the game goes up and the defenders and all the stuff, and they're like pressure. Bad. But they would just drain every single shot and warm up without even thinking about it.
Like I tell Craig and Amy and Jimmy, thank God they're ugly and dumb, because otherwise it'd be just too much to bear, Alon and Walsh, listen, thank you so much for this. I really enjoyed this. Tell us and tell the audience where they can find the podcast and all your various social channels.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. Search FML FPL anywhere. Anywhere you get pods or YouTube or anything, you'll find the regular pod there. And then we're always pushing people if they like that towards our patreon.com/FML FPL. We do a second episode every week and a live stream every week. and then, it's a fast moving season. So it's like, as soon as we record on Monday nights, it's old news. And so people like having the stuff later in the week, second episode on Thursday, live stream on Friday, right before the deadline, before the game, before the FPL game week starts, so that's kind of our thing.
Just out of interest, and the audience was there's an appetite for that extra show on Patreon, because we've been thinking about doing something.
Oh, for
similar.
sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's been a very good perk for people to subscribe for. Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned that, not to go on a whole nother tangent, but you mentioned it at the beginning, Sharms, is like, I've always considered we're a hangout pod. People like listening to us, not because we're going to tell them which forward to captain this week, because they like hanging out with us and think we're funny. So more of that is just amazing. If you think of like your favorite TV show or podcast or whatever, like if there was another episode a week, you'd watch, because it's like, yeah, that's how I want to spend my time, So that's kind of how it's worked for us, I think.
Oh, the old gears are turning now, and Jason.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Well,
Let's go.
we also have an OnlyFans account.
There we go.
But we don't have any content just yet. But
Craig won't agree to our demands just yet, unfortunately. But
OnlyFans, I don't know if we would kill in that market, but we'll try. We'll try.
The West Ham faithful and Ipswich faithful back in the UK would watch Craig do some terrible things. I'm sure of it. Anyway, listen, fellas, thank you so much. This was great, and keep it going. And let's chat again soon.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.